We'll get off the sexuality in 1 second. I also need to shout you out. Yearning for the Yoni homie.
That you like that? Like
Yeah,
that
that's
combo?
a crazy bar.
It is. And that song fucking slaps. Like that song produced by Ashton McCray. He's an amazing producer. It's, vagina vibe. It really sets people off kind of back a little bit, like, because people don't say vagina.
No.
It's a medical term for a lot of folks.
Yep.
But the vibes, people know what a vagina vibe is. If you think about it, it's still it's still subjective, but like, the female essence.
Right.
You want to be around it. You
Right.
want to be in this space with us, like, in general. So like, that's what vagina vibe's about.
Welcome to another episode of Outside the Algorithm, where you'll find a universe of independent voices. I am your host, Samuel Patrick, aka Drift Sonics, and today I'd like to introduce you to AJ the One. AJ is an MC, media producer, art director, and visionary based in Los Angeles, California. She has spoken at TEDx and was one of 30 contestants on Rhythm and Flow. What stands out to me is how she embodies the full spectrum of womanhood in her expression. This is a special interview and an important step for the series. Outside the Algorithm has literally been years in the making. Those previous episodes were filmed in rooms all over the country. But last year we stepped it up a notch and built this mobile studio that I'm recording in today. After building it, I drove to Los Angeles and was linking up with artists along the way. But when I got to Los Angeles, AJ was one of the first artists to see the vision and link up, and we made some great stuff together, which I'm excited to share with you. It was early on in the process. We were just getting the build together, figuring out what it would look like. So you will notice bare walls versus this tapestry I'm sitting in front of today. So I appreciate her bearing with us in that respect. It's also the introduction of a new element to the series. Once we started being able to create anything, anywhere, started asking artists what type of stuff they wanted to do to accompany the video. So in addition to this interview, you'll be able to see a freestyle that we filmed as well as a photo shoot. We did that at LMC Recordings in LA. Shout out to Polly Rob. In this interview, we'll get into how her expression came to fruition, as well as touch on some themes and concepts at the core of her outlook. If you'd like to hear more, our members have access to the full conversation, and you can as well by clicking the link in the description. It's free to sign up, plus you'll get access to all our previous episodes of Outside the Algorithm. That's Cake Swag, DJ Candy Rain, Miss Hot Sauce, Lore Gold. We'll also sign you up for our mailing list so you'll get new episodes delivered right to your inbox. No need to scroll through your socials to stay in tune. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce AJ the One.
So I was born and raised in Inglewood, went to high school in Inglewood, left at 17 right after graduating from Inglewood High, straight to Berkeley and Oakland, because that's where my mom's from, is Oakland. So, every holiday I was in the Bay since I was like 2, and so I always grew up like, damn, it's really lit out here. As soon as I get a chance, I'm moving to the Bay with my cousins. And so, there I was doing poetry, I was just, going to school, whatever. One thing led to the next. My friend put me on this song. It went hella crazy on campus, and then I was a rapper.
Just like that.
Yeah. It was never I never was like, ooh, shit, I'm trying to be a rapper.
Yeah.
Like, that was never the thing. But it just happened to be a way for me to, express myself.
That's what I was going to say. I get the feeling you were just planning to express yourself, and that was the avenue.
Yeah, people connected with it in a very deep level. Mm-hmm. And I was getting really strong testimony, and I was like, wow, all right, let's get into the studio. Let's put some more of this on beats instead of just like in my closet talking in my poetry voice.
Hey, the poetry stages, I've stepped on a few of those and performed. Like, it's you'll learn a lot about your voice in those rooms. Another thing that really stuck out to me about your music, and this is the other angle, so AJ the One, now, hip-hop can be a very egotistical genre. So you hear the one and you think, all right, she thinks she's the shit, blah, blah, blah. And you do talk your shit, but the vibe I get more is that you speak so much about your family and your community and going back to your village. Like, you are more like the one who's gonna bring about some sort of change or bring some goodness.
Exactly.
I think that's fire as well. Could you talk a little bit about how you see that role for yourself?
Yeah, that's a double. I mean, it's honestly a triple entendre. The one is, like you said, I am the shit, and I do consider myself very rare, a rare specimen. All right, if you will.
Yes.
But also, yeah, I just feel like I was kind of brought on earth, anointed for a larger purpose, rather than just living my life and working at Subway. Yeah. And I love Subway. I don't.
I heard there's yoga mats in their bread.
I don't know what's in their bread. I don't want to diss people who work at Subway.
No. You got to eat.
Yeah.
We all have to eat. That's, yeah.
Yeah, but I was chosen to deliver a message that I feel like it's whatever I want it to be. I wasn't given the courage to talk about the things that I do and the skill and the talent for nothing. And so much of my influences in the community and in the, other women's testimony, I'm from Inglewood, the things that I've seen, the things that I've witnessed, a lot of people don't have the courage or even the know-how to begin to talk about those things. So I can make a rap about it, I could do a TED talk about it, I can just find all these different ways to communicate, this is an issue or this is what the woman experiences. And here's different ways for you to understand it. Listen to some music, watch a video. It's important for me to kind of embody that chosen identity that I feel so deeply in my soul. Women have a different experience with trauma.
Yep.
So it just, for me, it's just important to speak it. Mm-hmm. There's so many things that happen within women, in women's lives, that are just on the hush hush. You ever had a conversation with one of your homegirls and you're like, wow, you deal with that?
Yeah, it's wild, and I'm glad people are talking more about things.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of women going through stuff on their own who think it's only happening to them, and then whether it's simple stuff like even miscarriages are being talked about more, and that's a big thing that a lot of people were kind of.
Birth mortality, women dying in pregnancy, even with this, that was a third world country thing, but actually, a lot of women die during childbirth, and you know what I mean? Just the overall woman experience, not just negative, but even the positive, and kind of just the idea of vulnerability, I think, is a little bit frowned upon. Stop acting like a bitch. You know what I mean? You being a pussy, but actually a pussy's really strong and it can take more than a cock can.
Shout out to homie Zizha. It's actually the strongest muscle in the body.
It's very strong, but the idea, I mean, just the overall vibe is that vulnerability and being a woman, acting like a woman, is a negative thing when women can be so strong and still hold that vulnerability core to themselves. Way more than
women are pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and you know what? Women are hunted. I'm sorry to be we can get to a lighter topic, No,
we're talking about what we want. Don't apologize. Don't apologize.
Women are literally hunted. Seriously hunted. There are people out there who find joy in power, and their identity is based in the degradation of women. And so my music is just a slap in the face to that. It's just it's not just I'm sexual, but it's also I'm strong, I'm vulnerable, I'm cool, I'm probably cooler than a lot of your male friends. It's humble, but it's still I'm here. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, and I think other women should take just go on that same path. Yeah. If it's true to who they are.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. Shout out to AJ the One. We touched on a lot in this conversation, and there was no filler. The depth was truly appreciated. If you'd like to dive deeper yourself, click the link in the description. You'll get the full episode immediately. All it takes is your email address. And after that, you'll be able to watch all our previous episodes, as well as have future episodes, mixes, and more delivered right to your inbox monthly. And if you want to take your membership to the next level, we've got even more exclusives on the way. Starting in 2 weeks, we're going to be dropping regular exclusives for our members. Plus, our members help us produce the content you are watching right now. I want to thank Carefree Black Girl as well. I first met AJ at their LA cookout. The girls are on tour right now, so make sure you check them out and catch them in a city near you. If you want to learn more about their movement and what they've got going on, check out episode 4 of Outside the Algorithm with DJ Candy Rain. She breaks it all down for you there. Thanks again to AJ the One, the LFOD fam, and all our members for making this possible. Peace.
I definitely dance. I was kidding.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See,
I have a thizzle dance, crump dance.
Okay.
There's a lot there.
Crump's big out here?
Crump is always going to be in LA culture, but there's no crump circles anymore.
Okay.
It used to be you could like drive and people be like
Yeah.
in the street. Like it would be cool.
There's some heavy crumpers in Boston.
Really?
Yeah, there's a lot of crump going on.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And a lot of the artists are like former crumpers and stuff too, like some of the bigger artists from Boston. Yeah,
I have to see this.
Because we're kind of like a more aggressive culture. I
Y'all
think.
crumping in the snow.
Yeah, with big Tims on.
Oh my gosh. I'm sick.
Positivity is a better movement. Let us do this. Level up and get into this evolution. Revolutionary method music. Get us choosing everything but less excuses. Shout out to the kings and queens with everything to lose. They never lose it.
So much glory in